compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, laws of the state of New Jersey. The Borough Clerk has prepared a schedule of the meetings of the governing body of the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2021. The Borough Clerk has posted a true copy of the schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall and has mailed true copies of the schedule to the local source, the Star Ledger, and the Home News Tribune, and is maintaining a copy of the schedule in her office during the year 2021. During the public health emergency caused by coronavirus, the Borough Council will continue to meet on their regularly scheduled meeting dates at 6 p.m. The council meeting will continue to commence as soon as possible after the work session. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied in regard to this meeting. Please stand for the salute to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Cesari and Councilman Penter excused. Councilman Davis.
Here.
Councilman Finestrella.
Here.
Councilman Ladati.
Here.
And Councilman Puglisi.
Here.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and council meeting of May 12, 2021?
I just have a comment regarding the minutes of the work session. There was a whole section of discussion regarding Section 8 that wasn't included in the work session minutes. I would just ask and request that that conversation be also included, amend the minutes to include that conversation that Mr. Herbert, the mayor, and myself had. I feel it's very important to get that, to get a full and complete minutes out there to the public on the website, because a lot of the people in public can't make it to our, certainly not to our work sessions, and and the work sessions aren't televised. So at the very least, if we can get a more complete work session minute. And now, if you want to hear, so I guess can I get a motion to include that portion of the discussion, and I can play it. I had it here, Mayor. If you want to know exactly what I'm talking about, it's a fairly long.
I know, I recall the conversation.
Are you okay with?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
I'll make that motion. Ladati.
I'll second it.
We need a motion for that?
I don't think so.
Well, we're asked for motions on
We do,
that.
because we're changing the minutes.
I like that.
Traditionally, the way the minutes are done is, the only thing I record in the work session minutes is the action that takes place. I don't include the discussion. It's just what actually the governing body makes a determination on. So if this is something that you want included, it needs to be by motion, second, and a roll call.
Okay.
I'll make that motion. And Ladati.
Councilman David?
I guess, yeah.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yeah.
Councilman Ladati?
Yes.
And Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
Okay, so the May 12th work session minutes will be removed and presented at the next meeting. So I guess the motion for approval is for the council meeting of May 12th.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Communications were received from the New Jersey State League of Municipalities. A letter in support of Irway River Flood Mitigation Project was received from the New Jersey Senate and Assembly. The New Jersey Department of Transportation sent notice regarding the TAP grant. The Planning Board provided response on review of Land Use Ordinance 2021-06 and 2021-07. An invitation was received from the VFW for Memorial Day services, and a letter was received from the fire chief for the appointment of a probationary firefighter and the cancellation of an allowance payment.
Is there a motion to accept communications and reports?
So move, Ladati.
Second, Puglisi.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The Borough COVID numbers are as follows. We have a total of 1,156 cases that have been reported to our health department. 24 new cases have fallen in the past 30 days, with 2 of these cases falling in the past 7 days. I'm very happy to report that 0 school-age children have tested positive in the past 14 days. June is Pride Month, and I'm proud to support our LGBTQ residents and have the Pride flag flown here at Borough Hall. Celebrating Pride means promoting self-affirmation, dignity, and equal rights for all. It is a time for people from all walks of life to stop and reflect on what it means to be truly accepting and accepted, and the peaceful, positive effect this can have on the world. It should not matter who loves which sex or what sex they identify as long as they are living their life with love and compassion. Yes, we would all love the day where we don't have to have labels, but it is ever important to continue the celebration of this diverse group of individuals, because people are still struggling with the stigma behind being gay, and the fact that still not everyone will accept them. While Pride Month is when it is celebrated the most, we should strive to celebrate everyone, regardless of sexuality or gender, and show our love to the people who make this world a better place by the diversity they give. I would like to wish everyone a happy and safe Memorial Day. Although this day usually is the kickoff to summer with barbecues and fun, let us all take some time to reflect on the true reason for Memorial Day, which is a military holiday to honor all men and women who died serving in the United States military. May we remember those who courageously gave their lives for our freedom. We should all use this day to count our blessings and stand proud as we remember our nation's heroes. The county is holding a Vietnam Veteran Award commencing the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War. The borough has nominated Robert Jeans and Arthur Vitale, and they will be accepting the award as Kenilworth Veterans at Ashbrook Country Club this evening. Okay, thank you. Finance report, Councilman Ladati.
Thank you, Mayor. I have an extensive report tonight. Beginning with the Finance Department itself, delinquent tax bills were mailed out on May 17th. There are approximately 200 delinquent property taxes and a 5% delinquent measurement for our curved assessment invoices. Meaning, you can see in this time of COVID, we're still having problems collecting from people who can't afford it. And we're trying to do our best, and I give that credit to the Finance Department for helping there. The Taxes Office is also preparing for third quarter tax period in order to mail estimated tax bills to property owners by mid-July. The Tax Finance Office is still assisting residents with the PTR books, or that's the senior tax freeze. Please apply. It'll take, if you're new, it's going to take 2 years. You need the tax returns from this year, and then everything will be applied for next year, so you will get a check back. You still pay the same amount of taxes every month, but you get a check back from the government as tax relief. And I think that's, that's one way of helping us with our property taxes. Some issues from last meeting. We talked about the RVSA. 2017, our RVSA bill was $700,000. 2018 was $900,000. That's a $2,000 increase. We did not go down. 2019, we went up to 1.5 million, $150,000 increase. 2020, and this is where some of the controversy came in, 1.24 million. We didn't, even with COVID, we didn't get any aid for our RVSA. We spent an extra 190.
Explain what RVSA.
Oh, RVSA, Railway Village Storage Authority.
Thanks.
It's where all our waste goes. I'm sorry, Mayor.
That's okay.
We've been saying RVSA for so long.
Great.
And 2020, 1.24 million, $190,000 increase. No loss. It still cost us money. In 2021, this year, it's 1.31 million. And that's a $70,000 increase. So what that's telling us is, even though we're on a 5-year rolling average, our increases are, this sounds crazy, our increases are decreasing, but it's still not a give back from the Roadway Valley Storage Authority. Another misnomer from last week, the PBA, their contract between 2017 and 2020 included a 2% increase. That increase, again, 2% was pre-COVID. You know, the contracts were signed and we had to go for it. Mark and his committee, or the committee with Kay, the 2021 budget for the police, 1.75%. So there's a savings on an increase of 0.25%. I think the negotiations went well and we saved some money. And in 2021, 22, 23, 24, it's a 2% increase. I'm sorry, 22 through 24 is a straight 2% increase, which the town received. As far as our staff here, yeah, they got a 2% increase, but people have to live. COVID hurt everybody, and I think the increase was justified when the finance department discussed it last year with other members that were on the committee. People mentioned the DPW with their increases. In 2019 pre-COVID settlements, that's when the settlement was made. In 2020 it was 2%, 2021 was 2%, 22 and 23 are 3%. And again, that was negotiated with good faith. And the reason you see those threes there is we had employees bailing on us and going to Garwood or some other towns where the pay was, you know, higher than we had here at Kenilworth. So, I mean, kudos to Mark for getting it and bringing it to our attention, and to Michael. We're taking care of our employees, or else we would have lost them. And I think we have a good, you know, DPW is a great place. And then it's something non-financial. Sister Monique from St. Teresa's Church has been a staple in this town. She got transferred to Cleveland, Ohio, you know, and I think everybody's gonna miss her walking, you know, the boulevard with her little white sneakers, you know, taking 100 steps to my 1 step. But we're gonna miss her, and I hope she comes back. They transferred her one time, and she came back. And she also did, if you go around St. Teresa's Church, you'll see the hard work she put in doing the New Life Easter project around the church with flowers and animals. So they did a great job. And we're gonna miss Sister Monique. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Ladati. Department of Public Works, Councilman David.
Thank you, Mayor. Couple of things. First, members of the U.S. military are on call around the world defending the interests and security of the nation 365 days a year, 7 days a week, and 24 hours a day. This May, during Military Appreciation Month, Mike, Superintendent of DPW, would like to recognize DPW employees Todd Watswa and Kyle Devetsky for their service in the United States Army. The Department of Public Works will be hiring 1 part-time seasonal employee funded by the New Jersey Clean Communities and Recycling Tonnage Grant, which will be at no cost to the borough. That extends from June 1st, 2021 to October 1st, 2021. And all duties and our projects will adhere to grant guidelines. The only other things that I got are I would like to explain to the residents of Kenilworth that there's been a couple of complaints that they're using black garbage bags to put out their grass and brush at the curb. That is not allowed, and the DPW will not be picking those bags up anymore and ripping them open and throwing the grass into the recycling bin for the pickup of the brush. So I suggest you get the 32-gallon garbage cans that you're supposed to have and put your brush and grass in those and put them out to the curb on the day that they pick up. Because from now on, they will not be picked up if they're in black plastic bags. And that's all I got.
Thank you, Councilman David. Department of Public Safety, Councilwoman Cesari. I believe Councilman David has
I'll
her
read that.
report. Thank you.
May 21st, 2021, this is from Chief Seuss. He's going to be away on vacation. Captain Sims is in charge of the department in his absence. Chief Seuss reported that several members of the community-oriented policing unit attended a Grateful for the Shot vaccination event at the St. Paul AME Church on Monroe Avenue, Sunday, May 16th. Chief Seuss also, along with officers Devlin and Byron, helped congregation members who were receiving vaccination and passed out water and food. Reverend Angela Battle, who extended the invitation, was excited to welcome the officers and look forward to future collaborations. On Tuesday, 5/18, at approximately 4:30 p.m., a motor vehicle that was reported stolen out of Elizabeth took off on Officer Byron. Westbound on the Boulevard, they attempted to elude Officer Byron through several side streets, eventually crashed through a gate at the dead end of Wilshire Drive into the Flexi van property where the driver fled on foot. After an hour-long search involving KPD, Cranford, Union County Sheriff's, the suspect was caught near Benicia Avenue in Cranford without incident. The suspect was charged with second-degree eluding, third-degree receiving stolen property, and fourth-degree resisting arrest. Chief Seuss would like to extend his appreciation to the other agencies involved and commend all officers involved with their professionalism, dedication, and bravery. The only other thing is on Saturday, June 5th, will be the 30th annual Kenworth PBA 135 Fishing Derby. Be held at Blackbrook Park from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Fishing Derby is open to all Kenworth youth who receive, and they will receive a free t-shirt and breakfast. There's also prizes for the biggest fish caught by either a boy or a girl in multiple age groups. The age limit is usually 13 and under can attend. If you have any issues, if you have any questions, you can contact anybody in the Kenworth PBA. And that's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Councilman David. Planning and Zoning, Councilman Finestrello.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next planning and zoning meeting is scheduled for Thursday, June 10th. There's two applications to be discussed. The first one is 600 Cranford Ave subdivision, and the other one is 36 North 13th Street, second story floor addition. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Finestrello. Recreation and Fire, Councilman Pence. No one, we did not have a report. Health, Education, and Human Services, Councilman Puglisi.
Thank you, Mayor. With the Board of Health, they are vaccinating the homebound now. So if you know someone that the J&J vaccine that can't get out for whatever reason, contact the Board of Health and you can make an appointment with them for the vaccination for your loved one, for yourself. And that's just great to hear. And also, they're actually planning on the week of the 13th to have a vaccination day where the Board of Health will vaccinate people. At this point, it's looking like the senior center where the vaccination will take place, and that's going to be either the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday morning of the 13th. But I'll provide, and I'm sure the borough website and the Board of Health will provide more information once we have the date firmed up. So I mean, that's just, it's great news, and it appears that I think most of our citizens are vaccinated already. But for those that can't, for whatever reason, for mobility reasons, to have the homebound vaccination program and have one here right on the boulevard is just simply a good thing that the Board of Health is doing, and kudos go out to them. And also, they are working on the Board of Health bulletin. Which is, the last I saw, it's 11 pages strong, and I believe Dr. Michelle Panici is putting it together and is working tirelessly, and with the assistance of Dr. Foreman and everyone else on the board, putting that together, and the Board of Health will be finalizing that hopefully, in the near future. So as it keeps growing, without a meeting, because they do a good job and they keep adding more and more to it. So I would say look out for that. Also, I received an update from the Board of Health regarding the farmers market, and it's going to start again. And they're aiming to start on June 18th, having vendor hours between 12:30 and 6:30, and that will be every Friday morning going into early November, pending safe weather conditions. Again, that's going to be in front of the Methodist Church. This is all about getting life together and just moving forward. And I think it's just great for everyone's, at the very least, mental well-being to get out and see your fellow residents in town. As for the library, I have here. Let's see. You have the crafts. Here you go. Okay, I've been telling you about a lot of the crafts that the library has been doing, that they started doing in May and will continue to do through May and June. And I just have, if I could show for the camera. This is one of them that I believe will be the Father's Day craft. And this is supposed to be, I guess, a dad barbecuing. And in it would be a recipe with some spices, perhaps maybe how to make the best burger or something. And that's going to be a craft that will take place in June. And also, I have an actual copy of the actual craft that was made by one of the members. And this is a card, tea kettle, and it says sharing together is our specialty. And I can just give you quickly updates regarding that. The Paper Pals, that will be outdoors in the back of the library on Tuesdays from 2 to 4. And that's each week where a new craft is made. The tween category, ages 14 and 17, they'll also have a craft that they can participate in or they can pick up and go. And that's going to start on Monday, May 24th. Monday, May 24th. And you can call the library and check out a book, and a craft can be picked up in person or curbside. And again, that's while supplies last. And the Father's Day craft, there's going to be 2 Father's Day crafts actually. There's going to be one for children ages 4 to 9, and that's going to be available starting June 7th. And there's also going to be an adult Father's Day craft. So if any one of you or us want to, just show Dad how much we appreciate them, we can stop by and pick up a craft. And again, kudos go to the library, Eileen Nevis and Lorraine Ruiz for putting much of this together. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Puglisi. Next for council consideration is the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Mayor, before you accept the first motion, I just want to remind everyone that number 11 was pulled from the consent, so it's 1 through 12 with the exclusion of number 11.
So moved, Lala.
Second, Puglisi.
Resolutions 1 through 12 with 11 pulled are listed on the consent agenda and will be enacted by one motion. All items will be recorded individually in full in the minutes. Councilwoman Cesari and Councilman Pence are excused. Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Ladati?
Yes.
And Councilman Puglisi.
Yes.
The next thing I have up is ordinance 2021-04, an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending existing Chapter 106 garbage, rubbish, refuse, recycling, Article 1 collection and removal. This is for public hearing.
The purpose of this ordinance is to amend Chapter 106-6 receptacle requirements and 106-7 hours of collection to reflect current standards and practices. Is there a motion to open the floor for public discussion on this ordinance 2021-04 only?
Motion, David.
Second, Lala.
If anyone has anything to say about this ordinance and this ordinance only, please step forward and state your name and address. Okay. Seeing no one, I would like a motion to close the floor for public discussion on this ordinance
Motion,
only.
David.
Second, Lala.
Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2021-04 for adoption?
Motion, Puglisi.
Second, David.
Be it hereby resolved that ordinance 2021-04 entitled an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending existing chapter 106 garbage, refuse, and recycling, Article 1 collection and removal was introduced and approved on first reading at the regular meeting of the Borough on April 28, 2021, and approved for final passage at the regular meeting of the Borough Council of May 26th. Oh, sorry about that. First reading was May 26th. And it will be heard at the did it again there too. I apologize, bear with me there. The June 23rd meeting. And that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish that ordinance in accordance with law. Councilman Cesari and Councilman Penter excused. Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Ladati?
Yes.
And Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
The next I have for introduction, my apologies again, having one of those nights, for public hearing, 2021-05, an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending existing Chapter 91, fees and licenses, Article 1, fees generally within the Borough of Kenilworth, County of Union, State of New Jersey. This is the ordinance that we discussed earlier, that there's a minor change on it. I was assured by Borough Council, change is minor enough that it does not require re-advertising.
Okay, the purpose of this ordinance is to amend Chapter 91, fees and licenses, specifically Uniform Construction Code fees. Is there a motion to open the floor for public discussion on this ordinance, 2021-05 only?
Second.
Okay, second, Councilman Finestrella. Okay, does anyone have anything to say, to add to about this ordinance and this ordinance only? Please step forward and state your name and address. Okay, seeing no one, is there a motion to close the floor for public discussion on this ordinance only?
Motion.
Second, Ladati.
Okay, is there a motion to approve ordinance 2021-05 for adoption?
Motion, Ladati.
Second, Finestrella.
Be it hereby resolved that ordinance 2021-05 entitled an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending the existing Chapter 91 fees and licenses, Article 1, fees generally within the Borough of Kenilworth, County of Union, State of New Jersey, was introduced and approved on first reading at the regular meeting of the Borough Council on May 26th, April 28th, and approved for final passage at the regular meeting of the Borough Council on May 26th, after all persons interested were given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance. Be it hereby resolved that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish that ordinance in accordance with law. Councilman Cesari and Councilman Penter excused. Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Ladati?
Yes.
And Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
I have an ordinance for introduction this evening, 2021-08, an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending existing Chapter 190 vehicles and traffic, Article 2 parking within the Borough of Kenilworth, County of Union, State of New Jersey.
Okay, the purpose of this ordinance is to amend Chapter 190-6, limited time parking, to include regulations for nuisance vehicles parked on borough roadways. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2021-8 on introduction?
So moved, Ladati.
Second, David.
It's a good ordinance.
Be it hereby resolved that ordinance 2021-08, entitled an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending existing Chapter 190 vehicles and traffic, Article 2 parking within the Borough of Kenilworth, heretofore introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance be further considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on June 23rd, 2021 at 7 p.m. or as soon as thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the Borough Council, and that at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance in accordance with law. Councilman Cesari and Councilman Penter excused. Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Ladati?
Yes.
And Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
The final ordinance I have this evening for introduction is 2021-09, an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending the existing Chapter 91 fees and licenses, Article 2, police reports and services, Section 4 fees within the Borough of Kenilworth.
Okay, the purpose of this ordinance is to amend Chapter 91, police service fees, to include the fees pertaining to the Kenilworth Youth Police Academy. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2021-09 on introduction?
Motion, David.
Second, Finestrella.
Be it hereby resolved that ordinance 2021-09, an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending existing Chapter 91 fees and licenses, Article 2 police reports and services, Section 4 fees within the Borough of Kenilworth, heretofore introduced is now passed on first reading, and the said ordinance be further considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on June 9th at 7 p.m. or as soon as thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the Borough Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance in accordance with law. Councilman Cesari and Councilman Pence are excused. Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrello?
Yes.
Councilman Ladati?
Yes.
And Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
That's all I have this evening.
Thank you. I have 3 proclamations this evening. One is for Memorial Day, the second is for the Battle of Connecticut Farms, and the third is for June Pride Month. On Memorial Day, we pause to honor the fallen heroes who died in service to our nation, whether on the battlefields of Bunker Hill, on the beaches of Normandy, in the jungles of Vietnam, or in the mountains and deserts of the Middle East. Brave Americans of every generation have given their last full measure of devotion in defense of our country, our liberty, and our founding ideals. With heavy hearts and a sense of profound gratitude, we mourn these men and women, parents, children, loved ones, comrades in arms, friends, and all those known and unknown, who believed so deeply in what our country could be they were willing to give their lives to protect its promise. We are indebted to those who sacrificed all in our name, including our nation's mothers and fathers, who have given their daughters and sons to America, spouses and partners who shoulder the weight of unthinkable loss, and courageous children in whom the legacies of their parents live on. It is our sacred duty to remember the courageous warriors who have made the ultimate sacrifice to ensure that our great country would endure. We must strive to ensure that their noble acts of dedication to our country and the cause of freedom were not in vain, and to comfort the families they have left behind who bear the heartbreak of their loss. In solemn reflection, we gather in eternal gratitude for the sacrifice of those extraordinary Americans and offer a prayer for lasting peace. Let us renew our steadfast resolve to work toward a peaceful future in which the horrors of war are a distant memory in our families and our communities, and our nation need no longer confront the sorrow and pain of losing our beloved sons and daughters. Now, therefore, I, Linda Karlovich, Mayor of the Borough of Kenilworth, do hereby proclaim Memorial Day, May 31st, 2021, as a day of prayer for permanent peace beginning at 11 a.m., and I further ask all of Americans to observe the national moment of remembrance beginning at 3 p.m. on Memorial Day. In witness hereof, I hereunto set my hand this 26th day of May 2021. I'd like to thank, we have a veteran here, our Captain Sims. I'd like to thank you for your service. I think that's it for our veterans in the room. The Battle of Connecticut Farms, which was June 7th, 1780. Whereas the Borough of Kenilworth, County of Union, State of New Jersey, on this 26th day of May in the year 2021, hereby proclaims that our borough was part of Connecticut Farms during the Battle of Connecticut Farms on June 7th, 1780. In the course of the American Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783. The borough wishes to honor our citizen hero militia who fought in this battle against the British Crown, protecting General George Washington and our American Continental Army who were encamped at Morristown, New Jersey at that date by stopping the surprise attack of 5,000 British soldiers en route through Connecticut Farms, with the intent of marching to end the war with a British victory at Morristown. And whereas General George Washington himself praised the militia at the Connecticut Farms battle that took place that day on June 7, 1780, stating that the militia fought with honor. Therefore, be it resolved, the Borough of Kenilworth hereby proclaims that moving forward every year, June 7th will be a day of remembrance and recognition of the hero militia here at Connecticut Farms that helped to win our independence from British rule to become the United States of America. Fighting the battle at Connecticut Farms, New Jersey during the American Revolutionary War, be it further resolved that in recognition and remembrance from this day forward, borough flags will be flown at half-staff every June 7th. And the last proclamation I have this evening is for Pride. As we celebrate and declare June as Pride Month in Kenilworth, we are reminded of what makes Kenilworth great, our remarkable capacity to live together and advance together across every conceivable difference. This June, we stand with the LGBTQ community as they declare their pride in who they are and who they love. The story of Americans, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, pansexual, asexual, gender fluid, non-binary, cisgender, and heterosexual community is the story of our fathers and sons, our mothers and daughters, and our friends and neighbors who continue the task of making our country a more perfect union. It is a story about the struggle to realize the great American promise that all people can live with dignity and fairness under the law. Each June, we commemorate the courageous individuals who have fought to achieve the promise for the LGBTQ Americans, and we rededicate ourselves to the pursuit of equal rights for all, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. Every generation has brought us closer to fulfilling its promise of equality. While progress has taken time, our achievements in advancing the rights of the LGBTQ Americans remind us that history is on our side, and that the American people will never stop striving toward liberty and justice for all. Now therefore I, Linda Karlovich, Mayor of the Borough of Kenilworth, do hereby proclaim June 2021 as Pride Month in the Borough of Kenilworth, and call upon the people of Kenilworth to eliminate prejudice everywhere it exists, and to celebrate the great diversity of the American people. In testimony whereof, I hereunto sign my name officially and cause the seal of the Borough of Kenilworth to be affixed this 26th day of May 2021. Okay, I'd like a motion at this time to open the floor to the public.
Puglisi motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, does anyone have anything for the good and well-being of Kenilworth? Please come forward and state your name and address.
Hello again. Walter Zalfari, 36 South 17th Street, Kenilworth, New Jersey. In reference to the farmer's market, are there any health inspections of the vendors at that location?
Well, the health department is taking the lead on it, so I would presume so, correct.
And will it be posted that they pass inspection?
That's a good question. I would assume, I'm not going to assume anything. I'll ask and find back. The health department is taking the lead on it, so I would presume that everyone there, they have to apply, and then from there, the Board of Health gives the approval. But I can ask you if it'll be posted, just like they do in New York City, I guess.
That's right, because the last couple of years, I've never seen a sign up that saying food by the health department. That's all I'm on.
Okay, thank you, Walter. We'll talk to the Board of Health.
Mary Micketts.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, 725 Monmouth Avenue. I only have appreciation for so many good things that have been done. Thank you, Mayor, for getting me a refrigerator for our pantry. I don't know if
Thank
people
you.
know
You're
that
welcome.
our pantry at St. Teresa's services everyone in Union County. It doesn't matter what religion, what nationality, anything. As long as you're in need, you can come on the days we are open, and we are happy to help you out. It has been working out very well. We give out about 250 people a month. We appreciate all the things that Kenilworth does for the pantry. We get food from so many places. Right now, we could use all the canned goods, no cereal.
Want a cereal there?
Sister Monique asked for cereal one day, we got 280 bucks. Yeah. But all the canned goods we could use right now.
Okay.
We are grateful for, I won't say food. He got me a connection with Union County, and we get fresh vegetables every week. We get milks, we get apples, we get oranges, potatoes, onions, strawberries, all different. The thing that is, we never know what's coming. But it has been very, very helpful, and so many people that wouldn't have had food have had food this past, and we worked all through the pandemic. I mean, there was women there every day, I mean, every, you know, when it was open, Tuesdays, Wednesday night, and Thursday. Now we're open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
What are the hours, Mary?
It's two to, what I'm saying, it's not two. It's 10 to 12 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's 9, I think, to 10 on Saturday, and 6 to 7 on Wednesday night.
Okay.
But as I said, I only have thanks. And I have to say, before we left, we had that big storm. I gotta give you a lot of credit, Mark. The picking up of the trees and everything else that was done during that storm was unbelievable.
Mike, superintendent over there,
Well, it was, yeah, but it was an unbelievable job. This town does an unbelievable job, and we have a lot to be thankful for. Our library has a knitting group. They crochet over 1,000 hats. They went all over to homeless people in different areas around. I mean, like, we gave out these used black bags and just gave them to Covenant House, St. John's, the homeless here, the homeless there. Where in the world would you ever get? Every time I turned around, Kathleen had another bag of hats for me.
That's amazing.
So as I said, I'm very, very proud of this town, and I brag about you in Florida. I know that.
We're glad you're back.
Yes, I say, in comparison to a $200,000 area, we do more in this little town of helping people. And if something is needed, and I call around, I always get help doing it. So I want to thank you all, especially you, Mayor and Council. Thank you very much, and stay well.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Oh, pardon me, I do want to say thank the police department, because they're a godsend.
Yes, they are, for sure. We agree with that. Okay, anyone else? Okay, seeing no one, is there a motion to close the floor for public discussion?
So moved, Ladati.
Second, David.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone else have anything to say for the good and welfare of the borough?
Mr. Mayor, I have a report on, it's not under finance, but it comes under Burke. I'm on a thing called the Merck Watch. I'm going to read this to you. We are in contact with our legal counsel regarding the tax appeal by Merck. The following update is necessary. Our tax assessor has provided the necessary info to our counsel to prepare our response to their challenge of our assessment. To date, all we know is that the appeal has been filed. We still don't know what their position is, but we are on Merck watch, and we're watching very carefully. We do know that the board of directors of Merck have approved the separation of a spin-off company from Merck called Organo and Company. The company's a great company. It's for women's health, breast cancer, for prescription drugs. So it's a very, very good company. The president of Merck predicted this move will have, and I quote, a significant impact on our shareholders. So shareholders are always the most important. And before leaving, I just prepared a little statement. You know, Walter Sosnowski mentioned about what it was like in the 70s, you know, and I lived through that, and I lived through seeing the paper every day talking about 600 Americans killed, 300 Americans killed. every day looking at the front of the Daily News, you know, on the newsstands. And from when I was 12 years old watching that, I struggled through that to my sophomore year in college of having to go to Vietnam. I wish they'd do a documentary. I know we have filmmakers in this town. Do a documentary of what it was like for those of us who had to go to the federal building in Newark, had to get fingerprinted down there, had to get draft card numbers, lottery numbers, to sit in front of a television and see, am I going to be killed or not? So, I mean, it was a rough time, and I'm tired of seeing all the hippies out there, you know, protesting and running. I'd rather see the good guys. And I just, yeah, wow. This Monday, we again pause to honor those men and women who served our country in the military. I'm reminded of the saying, our flag does not fly because of the wind. Our flag flies with the last breath of each soldier protecting it. And I think that says everything. And if anybody doesn't know about the 70s and what went on, you should read up on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman O'Donnell. Anyone else?
The only thing I would like to say in regards to the health department as far as vaccinations, I don't know if the residents know, but Philip Homes on Boulevard offers the vaccinations. You just have to walk in, fill out a form, and then you get the shot right there.
So does Morabito.
And I
Yeah,
think
Morabito's does as well.
I wasn't sure if
Yes.
Morabito's did. So we got 2 pharmacies in Kennewick that do give the people the vaccinations if you're just to walk in. There's no, you don't have to call up and make appointments, you just go in.
And also Acme too, pharmacy in Acme.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you need an appointment for Acme though.
Acme guy, yeah, that's
Yeah.
like a week. Yeah, but we do have 2 pharmacies in town that do it. So just wanted to put that out.
Thank
there
you.
for the residents.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else?
Anybody's out there Memorial Day weekend? If you see a veteran, if you see him and you're at a restaurant, if you see him or a bar or whatever, or anywhere, or even just give him a courtesy, or take your hand out and just thank him for his service. I remember, you know, one time we were at the Yankee game, and it was years back, and there was, you know, we saw 3, 4, 5 of them in front of us. And all the Yankee fans around these sailors were taking turns buying them around the drinks. I don't think we walked out at the end of the game. But, you know, it was really all of us were like, you know, in line to buy them
That's
something.
so important.
You know, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. If there's nothing else to be brought before the borough, before the council, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, good night, everyone. Thank you again, Captain Sims.